It was a nice night for us. It was a nice night, I hope, for Elon, with the exception of the score. It's a beautiful facility. Walking in here and seeing Maurice Curry's name on the practice facility is something that's important to me. But hopefully their fans got comfortable in those seats, and they'll come back and give them the kind of support every game. But it was a nice night, and we played well. I think one thing that helped us is we didn't guard them as well as it looked in the second half. They just missed a lot of shots, and I keep telling our guys, let's run, 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 and hopefully take somebody's legs away. But I don't know if it was anything we did or if it was just a tough night for them. But they couldn't throw it in the ocean in the second half, and when we started running it a little bit better, and the rebound totals were much better in our favor in the second half as well. 29 second chance points for us against 10 with them, and that's the way it should be. We're bigger. We're more gifted, more blessed. But like Matt's club, trying to remember Stephen, I won't call him Santa Ana because I'm thinking of the Alamo, but Stephen Santa Ana got him off to a good start early in the game, making those threes, and Sebring's a hard youngster to guard because he's one of their biggest players and steps out to the three-point line. But I thought all in all we were much better in the second half. And first 6 or 8 minutes of the game, I didn't think we were effective at all, but after that I thought we played well. Go ahead.
Jonathan Alexander with the News Observer. Kenny Williams seemed to be bothered by a shot.
Yep.
What might you or the coaches say to him, or y'all not worried about it?
You know, he got over in front of our bench and wiped up the water, so I told him he got something accomplished tonight anyway, so he turned into a manager and did a good job of that. But no, he's one of our best shooters. It's not going in the hole for him right now, but I'm also a guy that believes that I'm not going to give him any pointers. His shot's good. Just keep practicing and keep positive thoughts and keep shooting the ball when you're open. I think it'll go in.
Back to the defense in the second half, what did you say to him at halftime, and what maybe was there that you did like that they did in the second half?
Well, late in the first half, they kept setting the screen on the ball in the middle of the court, and the guy would roll and he'd be wide open. So we tried to clean that up a little bit and say the best thing to do is those two guys are involved to do a better job of talking, but everybody else to get off and be involved. And drew a pretty little diagram up on the board and showed them what we wanted to do. But other than that, it was just more activity, and I think more intelligent activity in the second half. The only bad thing about it in the second half is we made 5 fouls in the first 5 minutes, and that puts them on the free throw line way too much. But no, I thought we were more active in the second half. But again, they had some open shots that they just missed too.
Raise your hand if you're going to ask a question so I can direct the mic over there before we go. Save time. Thank you.
Coach, Nasir Little had 5 offensive rebounds. Can you speak to his impact on the boards?
Yeah, I really thought he had more. I really did, and I told our team and staff first, and then in front of the whole team, that he had most offensive rebounds in the first half, and we've got to get our 3-4 or 2-3-4 to get to the board. So he wants to play more, and that's the best way to do it. It's just to get to that board and make things happen. And he missed a couple of easy ones right in there too, but he's coming quickly.
Coach, talk to me about why it was so important for you to open up with, or the decision to go with Wofford and then also again Elon back to back here.
Yeah, it wasn't planned together. You know, we started talking to, I think we started talking to Elon even before we started talking to Wofford. Is Clint here? Clint, did we talk to Elon or Wofford first? Would you remember? Yeah, so we started talking to Wofford 2 or 3, 4 years ago, and then, as I said, Mr. Curry is a great friend of mine. Was a great friend. His name's on our building too, and he told me after Matt had been here a couple of years, he said, "I really like our coach. I think he's going to do some good things. If you ever get a chance to help him, I hope you will." And Mr. Curry unfortunately passed a couple of years ago, but Milt Petty that worked with him called and said, "Would you consider this?" Am I giving him the right story? And to get my age, you forget stuff that happened a couple of years ago. So that's the way it came out, but they were not together. It's just happened that way. And Kansas, we did it one year, Arizona State, Northern Arizona. I've done it a couple of times anyway.
Adam, since you took your Milt Petty question, do you still have one?
He'd never heard of Milt Petty a couple months ago.
Who hadn't?
You hadn't.
I don't know what kind of information you got, but that's not true. I've known Milt Petty since I came back.
I know, that's why I asked you about him a couple months ago.
I thought you were talking about Richard. Jesus Christ. I know who Milt Petty is, and I know who Richard, and I know who Kyle is. Kyle Petty went to our basketball camp when I was in. Go ahead.
Did you think your guys enjoyed this atmosphere of opening up a new place and being out here? And it's obviously different than a regular just non-conference game.
I think they enjoyed the atmosphere, but they're here to play a basketball game. They know nothing about the building. I told our guys this was the first game in the building, but half of them doesn't listen to what I say anyway, so they have no idea about that. But it's a good atmosphere, and for Matt's sake, and for he's got Jack and got two guys on the bench. JD and Jack, but I hope that Tanner and Wooten do a better job over here and get some more guys in and get the fans in too.
Back right, Ross.
Cameron Johnson had 21 points tonight, 17 last night. What have you seen from him offensively as a shooter so far this season?
He's shooting it really well. The crazy thing at half, we were 3 for 11 from three-point line. Second half, we weren't much better. We were 4 for 13, but our leading scorer had only taken 1 3, and that was Cam. He had taken 1 3 at halftime. And but right now, he's been very efficient. We've played him at the 4 spot a little bit, but that's hard for him defensively, but it's really hard for the other team defensively too, because they got to find him. But he's a smart kid, and I didn't like him getting 2 fouls early in the game, because I don't want one of my better players to get 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes, 5 minutes, because that dictates some things that are going to happen.
Grant, then hand it back to CL, please.
I know you were pretty disappointed with Kobe in 7th after the Mount Olive game for their turnovers, but they combined for 1 tonight. What adjustments have they made?
We've started to realize how important the ball is. That thing that hangs on the score, it's a scoreboard. You can't score if you turn the sucker over. And tell my point guards all the time, you get more playing time if you stay in front of the basketball and don't turn it over. And I think they've listened and done some nice things.
Roy, there's a reason why a lot of teams won't go on the road like this in non-conference play. What, if anything, did you learn about your team being able to get 2 wins on 2 road games?
Well, I think it always helps you. Each coach has got to do what he wants to do with their schedule. Some people may think mine's bad in some ways, but I do like doing this. I mean, we've taken some teams to a lot of places over the years, some big places. We played at Arizona, we played at Tennessee, we played at UConn, and then some smaller places like Elon, Wofford, Evansville. Where did I take Northern Iowa to take Marcus back home? But I think college athletics should be, for me, I shouldn't say should be, but what I want was college athletics is to go play in a lot of places, get a lot of experiences, and later in the year, if they're really warm places, I like them a lot better.
Take 2 more in the back middle.
Coach, you touched on it. You and the athletic director at UNC had to communicate with the coach and the athletic director here to, for them to host the first game here at the Schar Center against UNC. What does it mean to you personally to have played a role in a very important welcoming for this new arena?
No, I'm flattered, but it's not Roy Williams. It's University of North Carolina Tar Heels. They carry quite a bit of weight, but I'm flattered to be involved in it, flattered that they would want the club that I'm associated with to come and do that. And I like keep saying a couple of years ago, it was 2010, so it's 8 to 9 years ago. We went down and opened up College of Charleston's building, and they beat us. We went and opened up the official dedication of UNC Asheville's building, and we've done a couple of other things like that. But I like it, but I'm flattered, to be honest with you.
Right in front of you.
Coach, it was mentioned a little bit earlier. Is there anything that extra going into seeing 2 familiar faces, 2 players that you coached on the opposite bench?
Well, JB and Jack, JB could really shoot the sucker. I'm serious, he could really shoot. He made life difficult for the white team a lot of times when he was playing for us with our blue squad. And Jack will go down in history as making one of the boldest moves ever. He tried to block President Obama's shot. I mean, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my life. The guy's campaigning for the Democratic nominee for president, and he plays pickup with our guy, and Jack tries to block his shot. I said, that's stupid. The guy may be president of the United States. You ought to make friends with him. But at that time he was not, but President Obama played it off very, very well. And then Jack got the last laugh, because when we won the whole thing and went to the White House, President Obama met the whole team, we had a picture, and guess what Jack did? I've never asked if this is true, but supposedly handed President Obama his resume, so that boy's smart.